Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan, and it is Block Wednesday. So our sew along for Wednesdays right now is Home Is, and our block for today is to celebrate sweet dreams. And where do we have sweet dreams? The bedrooms of our house. So you might have a 1-bedroom home, you might have a 5-bedroom home. I want to celebrate those bedrooms because generally they should feel like our sanctuary. But in reality, they might be the home office, they might be the laundry room, they might be the place you have a meeting with that kid. You know, like the bedroom might be those places where it's not always the sanctuary, but we're going to celebrate all the things that are good about our bedrooms in our home. And I want to know, do you have a quilt on your bed? I want to see that quilt on your bed too. So when you share your block that you make today, show me the quilt on your bed. So here's the block. And I am very happy to have a cute, darling little basket for our Sweet Dreams block. So this block, I decided that you could play around a bit because what I did is show you here of how the center part of the basket is the same as the background fabric, but what if you did something more fun? Ta-da! Here it is with one of the prints where I fussy cut this flower bouquet from the fabric and put it in the middle. And I'm going to show you, do a little mock-up of how I would go about doing that. So we're going to come down here on the table. And the important thing is just remembering that you're going to use only half of that square that you're going to cut. So it is a 5-inch square, and what I will do is take some tape. This is washi tape, which is cute and it peels off really nice, and so you can see it good. So there's basically my 5-inch square on my Olfa ruler. Ta-da! But we want just half of it because this block, the floral part, I want it just at the top half. I don't care what's on that side. It won't matter, but I want to be sure that I get this side as a really pretty focus point. So I will take another piece of tape and put it across as my guide. So now I know that I want to have all of a floral in one of these sides so that I'm not cutting with the floral right in the middle. This is not what I'm looking for, which means I might need to pull into the fabric a little bit, which is what happened here. I could not cut from this edge, these edge ones, because they would have been in the middle of the square and not, giving me only half of a floral. So I have to come over and get 1/2. So like here, now I have this floral. When I end up cutting my 5-inch square, which will be, out here, this half will be like my block, right? And then the other half will be this fabric here that is really sort of plain, and that will go just in my scrap bin. So that was the other half of my block. So there's an easy way for you to approach being sure that you get what you want when you're fussy cutting. All right, now let's see where it goes on the quilt, because I also have a little, I'm trying to figure out what to do with part of that as well, because once I put the block up there, the next part, the next section to the right, I can start working on. So the block will go here, and I can rotate it either way. I can put the basket facing to the right or to the left or to the right. Whichever works out for your quilt and whichever looks better. I think I'm going to do mine so it's facing to the left. Now here is on this Flying Geese unit where I don't know which fabrics I want. So I cut a bunch of strips. Let me grab them here. I cut a bunch of different strips, and I'm going to pop some pictures up here of putting those options together. So I ended up I put the light blue stripe. This is a gray stripe, but I put the light blue stripe, and then I tried out some different top fabrics. And what's on there is a floral and there's another gray one I tried, and then finally ended up with what's there right now, which is the light blue stripe, the same that's in the flying geese. And then I have what they're both from Morrison Park, and then the medium floral at the top. And I'm just going to leave that sit for a little bit because I'm not 100% sure that that's what I want, but I'm pretty sure I like it. So I will just let it sit up there for probably till tomorrow. Now remember, if you did not download the directions for all the spacers, that is a separate download, and it's at the project page. So you just go over to the project page and print it off, and you'll have all the sizes. The other thing I want to talk about today is that yesterday when I was talking about the English paper piecing for the old school block of the month, I thought, okay, I'm going to get my stuff out. But there was quite a few people who are interested in the papers that stay in. And it's a fiber, so it's an applique. I call it applique sheets, and then people die cut them, like my friend Helen Stubbings of Hugs and Kisses die cuts them into a lot of English paper piecing. So I want to show you a little bit about that because I think they're great. The part I don't like about English paper piecing is taking the paper out. Do you remember I also talked yesterday about there's different ways to do things, different ways to accomplish the same task. And so I happen to like that when Helen showed me that you could just leave these fibers in there, I'm like, okay, now I want to work on English paper piecing. I didn't want to work on it before. So the first thing I did was, let's come down here, just push this over there. Okay, so the first thing I did was decide that I would order some 3/4 inch papers because I personally do not like to cut them out. I just never feel they're that accurate. But then I thought I can't wait. They'll get here, you know, and they're also going to be ones I have to take out, which I'm okay. It's not my favorite thing. But that's what I ended up ordering this time rather than the fibers. But let me just show you that I decided I could just cut the fibers from what I have. Here are the 1 inch hexagons. So that's 1 inch. And here's the paper that I cut out. So you can see that it's you know, smaller. So I ended up just, you know, tucking it into one edge like this and then trimming some just to get started. So I did a few trims. And this is the process. Let me just where's my thing? Okay. So let me just walk you through here just a little bit. These have a somewhat shiny, let me see, yeah. Can you see, I'm going to try to angle that. Can you see that it's a little bit, whoops. Okay, let me get another one. Let me hold on to it. So they're a little bit shiny, if you can see that. And that shiny is a fusible. So I take the shiny side down, put it on the back side of this fabric, and pressed it. So you can see this one here, and this one here, they don't come off because they're pressed on there. They're a light fusible. So now they're pressed on there. Then in order to turn under the edges, I'm going to use a glue stick, which I like these. And then I will cut around these edges and leave what, about 1/4 or a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch on all the sides. And I just do it like that. Okay, so that piece might be used later. So now I have this hexagon, which is kind of plain looking, but that's okay. I'm going to show you. I'll show you in a minute how they'll be on the block. So I take the glue stick and I just do one side, and then I fold the fabric over to the back, and then I just do all the sides like that. Now this fiber is very pliable. See it? It's very pliable. It's not like the cardboard. Here's the cardboard. I don't want to be folding that cardboard in half. This stuff I could fold in half. It is like an interfacing, but a little firmer. So the other thing too is if you're used to regular English paper piecing and you've always used a firm edge, you might find this quite a bit different because it is not a firm edge. For those of you who have never done it, like me, rarely did it, you know, not having a firm edge is okay because I don't know any difference. It works fine for me. So there we go. There's the hexagon. And these will be all going together. Here's some right there. So I have a plan. Let me show you the fabrics. Let me move this. I don't want to lose track. All right, so what I have is for Missy's old school block, one of the options she had was to take your background, and then she had a pretty fabric in the middle, and then she had one row of hexagons around them, around that pretty fabric. So I'm thinking this, okay? And then what she did is she had another row around that, you know, and it's all this hexagon shape too. So I think that I will have just a variety of these black fabrics. Let me just put two of them here so that there would be, you know, hexagons like this, and then another row of the black hexagons around the outside of that. And then there'll be the peach as the very background. And I think that that is my main plan for doing this. Now I did order the cardboard ones that you have to pull out, just because I haven't tried them in a long time, and I thought for these tiny ones maybe I want some crisp edges, maybe I would try them. You know, they were the 3/4 inch. At the day that I ordered them, they were not in stock, you know, for the fiber. I think they're back in stock now, but the day I went to order, they were not. So that's why I went with the paper. So, well, it'll be fun. I can't wait. For me, when I'm doing this type of handwork, when I'm, you know, creating little things like this that I'm going to do as handwork, I need to get it organized right up front. You know, if I procrastinate too much to getting all this out and getting them all cut and ready to go, it just doesn't happen then. So for me, it's really nice to get it ready now. I've got a few of them. I can get a few of these going until my order comes in, which should be any day, and then I can get them all prepped. Now, sewing them together, you basically are doing a whip stitch on the edges. You would like line up two edges and then do a little whip stitch across there so that when you open them, they are connected. So, and I know I've done this on video somewhere, but I will do it again. I'll get a bunch of this organized and do another little segment on these, because this is going to take me a few days, not, you know, hopefully not too long, to get them sewn up. Then you have to applique them to the background, which you could do by machine if you really wanted to. You could do that, or I'm just going to do all mine by hand. I've done a lot of handwork in the past, just not real recently, except for the cross stitch. You know, I picked up the cross stitch again. I mean, I've done a lot of embroidery, I've done a lot of hand applique, so it's just not something I've had in my routine in the past couple years. But I'm sort of looking forward to this. I don't know. Sometimes these things, like with me doing the cross stitch every day and not doing this hand project, who knows? Maybe it'll kick off me having a hand project all the time to do for an hour or so in the evening, which I think would be really awesome. All right, my friend, we have our basket to do today for sweet dreams. I can't wait to see yours, and also show me that quilt on your bed. Even if you're not following along what the home is, show me the quilt on your bed. Links are down below. You go to my website to do the download. I love you. Mwah. See you online.